Second?
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're back from recess, and we're talking about the letter to the commissioner to accept unanticipated revenue, which is something different than what we thought we had to do for the Title I funds. Do you want to go ahead?
Sure. When I was attending the New Hampshire School Administrators Association training on budgets, Gordon Graham was doing the presentation on different RSAs, and one of them was the discussion of what chapter RSA 3211, which is having to do with revenue in your budgets. And under that, there is a rule that you can petition the commissioner to allow you to change the revenue side of your budget. And for example, if we were going to run a deficit, it would be the commissioner that would have to give us permission to run that deficit.
Right.
So this is the same thing. It's underneath those same rules. And so I spoke later with Gordon about it, and and Ida and I talked as well, and we decided that we would write a letter to the commissioner, since the Title I funds are coming from the DOE, and she has a vested interest in having us use those funds to improve the schools. So Gordon Graham drafted a letter to the commissioner for us that will come from me. And at the same time, we also have to run this by the budget committee because it is a municipal budget act here. So
They have to approve it first, don't they?
they have to endorse
They
it.
have to endorse it, right?
They don't have to approve it, they have to
Right.
endorse it, which I
Right.
thought was interesting. So Ida will be bringing this to, with the board's approval, to the VICOM, and when we have this, I will put it with the other letter and send it to the commissioner and ask for her permission. And then we will be able to do two things. One, we will be able to accept the $32,000 in focus school funds. And there's also a $4,700 set aside in our regular Title I funds that is required to be set aside for focus school initiatives because we are a focus school. So we'll be able to access both of those. So I put in for a top of $40,000, and I have asked Joey Nichols, who's our Title I liaison with the DOE, is there any other money that we might anticipate this year that you can let me know about now? She was away over the weekend and was supposed to get back to me today, but hopefully I'll hear from her tomorrow. If not, I'll call her and we'll finalize it.
Now, does he have a copy of the warrant article? Does he, and is there an explanation in that letter as to why the warrant article doesn't apply to this?
It has no relation to this at all.
It has no relation
No,
to it?
this has nothing to do with the warrant article.
The budget committee is gonna ask.
Right, I had gone to the budget committee last week about the special meeting that you guys wanted me to ask them
Right.
to approve. And they had questions, which led me back to Betsy. And meanwhile, she had been talking to Gordon Graham. So basically what Gordon Graham said is, by the time you get a special meeting, first of all, the budget committee has to approve it coming through. Then you have to go to Superior Court to schedule a special
Right,
meeting.
because there's money involved.
And by the time you get done with all that, March has come and gone.
No.
By the time of everything that you have
It
to
would be
do
December.
is done, and the public hearing is done,
Yeah.
it starts to get really confusing for the voters to have two things going on, two elections,
All right, at the same time.
all at the
Also, they
same
can't
time.
set the tax rate.
And
That
they
was another
can't,
big
right,
one.
they have
It's
to do it
during
in
the
time to
tax
set the
rate.
tax rate, and if they can't, then they can't,
Yeah,
so.
even though it wouldn't affect the bottom line, it still,
Right.
had the potential to do
Right.
that.
But my only question is like, you're saying that the warrant article doesn't apply.
We don't have to have a special meeting, because you can ask the commissioner to overexpend your budget. She has the ability to.
Right, I know that.
If it's,
That I do know.
particularly if it's not touching
Right.
the tax rate.
Right, but the warrant article isn't talking about overspending budget. The
We
warrant
can't do
article
anything about
is
that.
about accepting unanticipated funds. So,
We did it last year, Andy, the same thing for the
yes, we
New
did.
Hampshire Ed Jobs grant,
Yes, we did.
because there was an error in our budget. The financial administrator forgot to put that as revenue. So we asked for special consideration
Right.
through the BudCom that then went to, I think, the DRA for
Yes,
that.
yeah, Ms.
Right.
Wonder, the DRA too.
And they granted it to us.
Yeah.
Because we had already budgeted the position on one end and not included the revenue on the other. And it wasn't gonna have an impact on our tax
Right.
base.
Right.
It was money that was gonna help pay and not affect the tax
Right.
rate.
Right, so it's really, in the end, it's almost a non-monetary item in some respects, because
Yeah.
it's a wash,
It is a wash.
yeah, so.
But if we can get rid of that citizens petition,
Well, it's a
Well, you just
warrant
have to have the warrant article
Right.
pass.
right, if we could get the warrant article to pass, it
Able
would
to-
make life a lot easier for this kind of stuff.
article. Oh, we can just, well, we can put a warrant article. on.
Again.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have to
Yeah.
campaign for it. So we just need the okay for the board to go ahead and do this.
Right,
Do a motion?
yeah, we need
We need
basically just right
consensus,
on
we need a vote.
the,
You need to vote.
we'd like you to approve the letter and the process so that the district may accept the focus school funds and participate as required by New Hampshire DOE into the focus school process.
So moved.
So do we have the letter?
Second. Yeah, the letter was in the packet, wasn't it?
No.
Or
No,
wasn't
it didn't come. I do have a copy of the letter, 2 letters.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, I think I sent it to you.
Yeah, you did. You did. I'm getting used to this whole,
With
the
the
chair
chair
has to
thing.
send it to the board. I'm thinking when I get it, everybody gets it, and I don't. That's the same letter, twice.
No,
Oh,
no,
I'm
it's
sorry,
not the
no.
same letter twice.
This is one letter.
Yeah.
She has the same letter as that.
Right.
One is to the budget committee and one is to the commissioner. And I have sent, as Gordon Graham suggested, I have sent an email to the commissioner enlightening her about the arrival of this letter. So she will be aware of it.
Is it $40,000?
I put in 40 just to cover us, up to 40. It's 32 plus 5, which
Okay,
is
good.
47, and in case 3 pops up anywhere.
And then if you hear anything back, you.
Yeah, I will just raise
Okay.
that
Okay.
ceiling just to cover it as a
Mhm.
wash, but it will never involve any of the bottom line of the budget,
Mhm.
which will be great because then there's positions that can be, advisors that can be hired, a mentor for the principal, data entry, guidance, guidance and assistance in the public school process.
Okay.
People can be, and that's what the money's for, it's to pay for that, so.
And when I was at the budget committee meeting too, one of the budget committee members, Mike Nygren, said that he was one of the authors of that warrant article, the petition, the citizens petition,
The decision.
to rescind. And it wasn't, he says it wasn't his intention that we couldn't receive these funds if they didn't affect our tax. Isn't that what he was
Yeah,
saying?
he said he was saying that if it's something you applied for, then you can get the money. It's in case, essentially someone just walked up to you and said, here's $10,000. So you can't just accept that, you have to go to the town.
Yeah.
But if it's something you applied for.
Well, he didn't read his regulations properly, I guess, because that's exactly the effect it has.
Yeah, so,
So,
we, you know,
his intention was not.
Yeah, I can't, there was an issue.
he said
bounding about,
he said that the school board had been underestimating the revenue they were gonna get from grants.
Yeah.
But when you don't know how much you're going to get, you have to underestimate it, otherwise you're going to commit to take money from the budget, so.
Yeah, there was something else going on in town at the time.
I'll stay out of politics.
Yeah, I mean, there was something else going on. at the
Not my
time.
territory.
I mean, basically, part of the problem is that there's problems with the budget process
Okay,
and the way the school was coming up with the budget, and some people who.
there was a loss of trust,
Yes,
Okay.
people
It
were
happens.
skeptical, and
Yeah.
so that's why
yeah.
that's part of why that passed. So,
There's one way to control it.
yeah,
Now, hopefully we can keep the process as transparent as
okay. so you
is
can-
necessary, and people will be okay.
Has submitted notice of freedom of budget committee, so we need to make sure that we submit notice before we send this letter, right?
Well, right, we can't do
Yeah.
this until the board says it's
Right.
okay to. So we
Yeah.
couldn't do anything until
The
the
budget's
board
in.
sees all of these things and
Yeah.
approves it. Then we have to get to the budget committee, and I wasn't sure if I could squeeze onto their agenda for tomorrow night. So I'm gonna do the best I can to try. If not, then it'll be next week,
Next time, yeah.
which is not a big deal.
Okay.
And it is Commissioner of Revenue.
The Commissioner of Education.
Well, you're looking at
School
municipal
board,
budgets.
On application of Commissioner of Education,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. All right, so I guess I need a motion,
I
like I
made,
had just stated before.
Yeah, okay, I motion that the board approve the letter and the process so that the district may accept the focus school funds and participate in, as required by the New Hampshire Department of Education in the focus school process, meaning requests to both the budget committee and the New Hampshire Department of Education to overspend our budget in order to receive matching funds.
Second.
In order to receive the focus school funds.
More than-
It's not matching funds.
Oh, the focus school funds, okay.
Yeah,
Focus
No, it's not
school
matching funds,
That's
good
not
heavens.
matching, focus school funds, right.
yeah.
You seconded? Any further discussion on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay, now you have this in electronic form.
I do.
right? So you can fill it in
Yep,
and then sign it and return it
Yep.
to me and I'll get the other one in.
okay. We'll do that.
Actually, it's the BudCom.
They have to sign that?
Yeah,
Okay.
they sign that.
I'll twist Charlie's arm tomorrow. Okay, so we're gonna need to go into, oh no, sorry. Official vote on the mission statement. We voted on the mission statement, talked about it, went over it and over it, at a work session, but it has to be done in a school board meeting. So we're basically opening up that last page of the packet, if you will.
Yeah, I don't have the.
And I need a motion, a formal motion to make the following addition to the end of the present Fremont School District mission statement, which will read, "And be knowledgeable of the traditions and principles upon which America was founded." Also, this motion needs to continue to remove the extra "and" in the final sentence before the words "value community involvement," add a comma, to properly set the series, and to move the existing comma into the quotation marks around the words "thirst to learn," because it was in the wrong place.
So moved.
Okay. I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Based off of what Dawn said, is this grammatically correct, or are we putting something out that's technically grammatically incorrect?
There is, I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth, there's another grammar error in there which we can talk about at another point, because I don't wanna make something out. But, it's not that it's not grammatically correct. Parallelism means that you have like things in series. Apples, oranges, bananas, and cars is not parallel. You see what I'm saying? This statement is not parallel if you add that to it, because you have statements of a learner and then a statement of content that you wish to teach. That is my point. Again, I'm not doubting that that needs to be in our curriculum, but that needs to be in our social studies curriculum or in our general curriculum, not part of this as a statement. That was my concern right there, that it was not parallel, and then based on what a lot of other schools have for their statements. That was my observation.
I think tonight what we have to do is ratify what we did. And then if we decide it needs to change, we need to reopen it up at another meeting and discuss it. Am I wrong?
I mean, you can discuss it now while we're doing it, and then we'll just take a vote.
So we don't have to ratify what we already, isn't that what we were doing here?
We were,
Ratifying what
well,
already-
it was assuming that you wanted to keep it as it was.
Okay.
You certainly can change it. I mean, you took a vote, but it was improper. This was to make it proper. Because you're not supposed to make decisions in work sessions, you make decisions in general meetings where the public is there to
Okay.
watch.
All right.
So.
No, I agree.
Work session's open though, right?
Work session is open,
Okay.
that is correct.
Okay. Any other? All those in favor?
Guess I should have discussed it.
Item
I'm
number
gonna
4.
say aye.
We already talked about it and decided upon it. I,
I didn't like it the first time, so nay.
Okay, aye, so it's 4-1.
Okay.
Alrighty. And And now, we do need a non-public. And then after this, we're just basically gonna adjourn after the non-public and we come into public and then have a non-meeting. So,
All right. All right, thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for your input.
Can I speak with you for just 1 second, because I want to clarify something that I
Okay.
just said? No. I didn't, I think we point out something.
We didn't adjourn yet.
No,
Okay.
the discussion is
So
superintendent.
so I might want to look at that.
Fine, be that way.
I am. To me, I went,
Can you send me the red line, what you know what I mean, just for, to change it so it didn't say what it was supposed to say?
What's
Right.
that?
No, that's okay, we actually threw that together as a whole huge group of people.
And it is, and whenever you string together a bunch of phrases,
Yeah.
you tend to get misplaced modifiers and,
Right.
yeah. Sorry, that's the English teacher.
Nope, that's
You're
okay,
right.
that's okay, I have a funny story for you about critical writing in college.
Well, I was gonna say, you keep mentioning that, so yeah. Not a problem.
You'll find it rather funny.
Okay, I'll send you an email tomorrow, thank you.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Okay, so I need a motion to go into non-public, for RSA 91A:3, Roman numeral 2, section A, superintendent position discussion.
One second.
And roll call,
Phrase I.
Keen eye.
Call for aye.
Betsy back in here because she wants to be with us. We're back in public session.
You can afford it.
Do we need to seal those minutes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So I need a motion to seal the minutes?
For 3 months.
Yeah.
Sure. Consolidated minutes.
Motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
All right,
now.
so we're not, if we're in a non-meeting, it's not
We have to
recorded
adjourn
and
this.
We have to adjourn our meeting.
Oh.
We're back in public session, and the next meeting is Tuesday, October 8th, 2013. Does anybody have any other future items that they need added to the agenda at this point, or do you want to email me anything that you need to have put on the agenda?
Yeah, well.
No?
No, we're good.
Okay, so
The
motion to
agenda's
adjourn?
pretty full.
Second. I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.